What's going on, YouTube fam? It's your boy Tony2times, and we back with another video, man. And alright, we're gonna do the How I Survived Prison at 17 years old in Baltimore, Maryland, episode 4. I ain't think y'all really was gonna be feeling these like that. You see what I'm saying? I think we on episode 4. But yeah, so this go around, I'm gonna take y'all to Hagerstown. I'm gonna take y'all to after I caught my time, my first night in the cell. My cell buddy had life. You see what I'm saying? He was locked up like 20 something years. It's like when them doors slam behind you, to all the kids out there, it's like it's no returning, there's no coming back. Your innocence, everything is stripped from you at that point. You a grown man now, whether you like it or not, and you looked at as a grown man. Because once you get in there with dudes that got life and dudes that been locked up all that time, they not trying to hear that little boy stuff. They don't want to keep hearing you whining about wanting to go home. And I already knew that just by talking to people, talking to my family. I knew how to carry myself and conduct myself in a certain kind of way. I was wise beyond my years from the streets, from what I've been through certain situations. It kind of got me to a point I was able to think and be on the same level with older guys and had real conversations with them. And a lot of our conversations with my first cell buddy at night, he used to always tell me, like, man, you 17 years old. When you leave this place, you're going to be like 20, 21 years old. You still got your whole life ahead of you. You got to do this for people like me, people that's not never coming home. You got to go out there and represent. You've been through it. You know what it is. So you got to go out there and be that voice. You got to go out there, get you a family, start you a business, build your credit up. Now, these things in the black community, they don't teach us about. When I was young, I ain't know nothing about credit. I ain't know nothing about starting a business. I started my business last year. I got a photography business for y'all that don't know. And it's hard. I'm still trying to figure out some things, you see what I'm saying? But yeah, you get 3 trays a day. You go to breakfast, which is like maybe like 4 or 5 in the morning, you see what I'm saying, depending what jail you at. Then you go to lunch. Lunch is anywhere between 11, 12 o'clock. But the kicker is you eat dinner at like 5 o'clock. That's your last meal. And in jail, a lot of people like to stay up all night. You like to play cards. Have conversations with your cell buddy about the streets. Tell war stories, stuff like that. So you get hungry. So if you ain't got nobody looking out for you, you ain't got commissary. A lot of dudes be out here burning bridges, cussing their family out, stealing from their family, crossing people. If you ever get in that bind, you ever get sent behind that wall, you're going to need these same people. So I advise anybody, keep your relationships solid. Keep the people you love and close to you solid. And then if you got a girl, she going to leave you. It ain't too many women that's going to sit around while you gone 3 years, 4 or 5 years, that's going to sit there and do that time with you. If you got kids, your kids might be calling somebody else daddy, depending what kind of baby mother you got. I know my baby mother, she ain't bring my daughter to see me, you feel me? I went through it. I was in that second guessing, was I really the father of my daughter, stuff like that. It drove me crazy. Like, my mental state at this point in time wasn't too strong, so I was easily influenced. When I first went to Hagerstown, I was smoking, I was drinking, I was just going with the flow. I was trying to take stuff from people, because I felt like I had to survive. Until one day, I got into church, I got into praying, I was reading a lot, and something just clicked in me like, I'm the problem, I'm destructing my own people. When I was out there selling narcotics, even in here taking from people, I got locked up for taking from people, and I'm still taking from people. So I had to G-check myself real quick. I mean, even though I was trying to change, it was still drama coming my way, because who my peoples was. From the streets, people ain't like some of my family members, so I had to fight and things of that nature. But man, I wrote a lot. I listened to a lot of music, I wrote down what I wanted to do, and I realized I wanted to be a voice. I wanted to talk for the lower class, for the dudes that ain't got nothing, for the dudes that wake up and trying to figure out what they gonna eat, for the dudes that gotta take care of their family, 14 years old, 15 years old, because I've been through that. And man, Hagerstown, it's like I was at the new jail. It's called MCTC, Maryland Correctional Training Center. And it's like, it's a lot of older dudes, but it's also a lot of younger dudes. And when you get a lot of younger dudes in that kind of environment, they still stuck on that street mentality. You know, I was locked up with dudes that they just couldn't break that mindset. So it was a jungle up there. You know, you had to defend yourself. You had to make sure you watched everything. You paid attention to your surroundings because dudes was gonna try you no matter who you was, who you thought you was. Excuse me. But man, the point of these messages is what I'm trying to get across to y'all is I'm telling y'all my story so y'all ain't gotta go through this because it's not necessary. You see what I'm saying? And there's always a way to do better, and there's always a way to figure things out. You don't have to go to the penitentiary. You don't even have to go to county jail. You don't even have to go to juvenile. You see what I'm saying? You can beat these odds, man. You know, sometimes you got to think outside the box. If a job ain't hiring, we live in a world nowadays where you can sell stuff online. You can be an entrepreneur. You can sell T-shirts. You can sell bottled waters, anything, you know, anything but the streets. Just don't go that route. But yeah, so once I got out the cell, because I was at 6, it's a housing unit called 6 at this time. And that's kind of like the receiving housing unit where you come in at, but that don't mean you're going to stay in that housing unit. So they sent me away to housing unit 2. Now, this was an open housing unit, meaning I had a key to my cell. I was able to come out during the day. I was able to play cards and kind of talk with people and stuff like that. And I learned a lot, and I seen a lot of dudes from the streets that I knew, and they had turned Christians. You know, they got their mind right, and they was focused. And it's crazy they had to go to prison for them to be their best self. Sometimes prison save people's lives, but at the end of the day, it's not for everybody, and I don't think everybody need that. A lot of our black men locked up right now. You know, that's how it all started with the crime rates going up and stuff like that. A lot of these women, they had husbands or they had baby fathers that was around that was trying to help them out, but they might have been in the streets. Then they get locked up. Now you in a single mother home, and now a lot of these young dudes, they don't know how to be men. You know, it's hard for them to understand that because they was raised by women, so they think with their emotions, so they quick to pull a gun out. But yeah, I was up there with my cell buddy you see right now. I was in 2 with Dre. You know, Dre the one with the braids y'all just seen. And he was a hothead, man. You know, he had been through a lot. You know, stuff like that. But being around dudes like that, even in jail, I was a motivation. I used to talk to him. I calmed him down. I kept him on the right path. You know, and I ain't really think at that point in time, I ain't know what my calling was. I used to pray about it, and I still pray about it. But I really believe my calling is to help other people, and I want to do that. And I'm going to give y'all as much as me as I can. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to be transparent. I'm going to tell y'all about all my experiences. I'm going to even go deeper than prison. I'm going to go all the way back to my youth. And I'm going to tell y'all why some people end up like they is. You know, you really are a product of your environment. What you see, what you take in every day, that determines the kind of person you're going to be. If you grow up around robbers, more than likely you're going to be a robber. If you grow up around people that drink all day, more than likely you're going to be a drinker. That's just how it is. But man, Hagerstown, you know, it taught me a lot. You know, it was like prison. It wasn't no more play. Like, it wasn't a jail. It wasn't DOC. It was prison. You know, I seen people get hurt badly. You know, people was getting killed up there. Stuff like that, man. But I took everything out that. I took my GED. I used to be in the cell drinking coffee. I drank my first cup of coffee in Hagerstown. Just studying for my GED. Dudes used to be like, man, why you trying to get your diploma? Like, I'm going to go home. I'm going to do the same thing. I ain't going to get my diploma. But I knew I had to do that. I knew I had to better myself. But yeah, man, this part 4, man, I'm coming back. And I'm going to finish the series out with part 5. But I love y'all, family. Leave your comments below, man. If you're new to the fam, be sure to subscribe. Hit that notification bell for uploads. If you want to support, man, support independent media. Check out the links in the description. Check out the Cash App in the beginning. You feel me? I love y'all. Leave your comments. I'm out, fam.